Another Time, Another Place, 2002 to 2017. Another Time, Another Place is an oil painting on canvas, and it's 119 centimeters and 119 centimeters. This is one of the paintings regarded as the most expensive masterpieces in Africa, as well as in my collection. It has been written about extensively in Africa and Europe. This painting took me 13 years to complete. The initial journey started in western part of Uganda in 2002. Before I completed it, I left for South Africa in 2003 to start on my second master's degree program at the University of Witwatersrand, and a doctorate in 2005, which I completed in 2012. I made it a point that whenever I come back to Uganda, I would continue with this project. The painting became one that represents different places and different times, thus making it a collage of numerous places and times. The work was completed after my return from the USA after my Fulbright postdoctorate in 2016. Therefore, the painting has brushstrokes that bring back memories of so many places I went to between 2003 and 2017, the time I completed it. The work transcends time and place and resonates with everyone's experience, and it's magical. It has previously been used to fundraise for girls' education in my home village in Kabale, Uganda. However, the aspiration today is to tap into the echo from Another Time, Another Place to support the cause of brain surgery for children at Cure Children's Hospital in Mbale. City sunrise and city sunset were done from 2002 to 2016. They are both measuring 119 centimeters to 89 centimeters oil on canvas. I've been consistently fascinated and inspired by the blue and golden sunsets and sunrises over the years. There is a belief that sunrise is the start of something beautiful during the day, while sunset is the start of something beautiful in the night. Others say that there are blessings in sunrises and sunsets. Sunrise may hold more promise, while sunset may hold more peace. And all these are completely free for us to envision, dream of, and hold. It is a magical feeling and irresistibly beautiful, as it is often perceived as poetic and idealized. Sunrise and sunset against multicolored layers of a city hill and mountains constitute spectacular forms and pinnacles that we must experience them in our lives. And after all, life is very sweet and too short for one to give a lot of leeway to be stressed. Falling in Love with Fall 1, 2015 to 2016. It's measuring 119 centimeters to 89 centimeters. The Falling in Love with Fall is a print from an oil painting done in 2015 to 16. It is a series of paintings inspired by the fall season and was exhibited in the $1 Million Paintings for America show in 2016. My never-ending search for knowledge took me to many places in the world and makes me feel contented now. It was magical for me to see plant life change into rainbow-like colors and thereafter shade off. The shading off seemed to be unpleasant, but on the other hand, it seems to prepare the plant to withstand the tough times that come with another season. It was during this time that I started to critically compare this phenomenon with our being here on Earth. It was splendidly rejuvenating and worthwhile to experience different seasons. Flower of Hope was done in 2012. It's measuring 109 centimeters to 97 centimeters. It's done on oil on canvas. The Flower of Hope represents rejuvenation in terms of new life and rebirth. In the midst of darkness, uncertainty, and cold winter days, I look to the flower, its petals unfolding with hope. This is the meaning of Flower of Hope. The sentiment is represented in the painting by petals that emerge from the center petals and bloom towards, symbolizing new life and hope. I'm especially pleased with how this painting came out. I call it an emblem of new beginnings. Golden Days was done in 2012, and it's a painting measuring 119 by 80 centimeters oil on canvas. The painting Golden Days is inspired by Grahamstown, Makanda in South Africa. The painting invokes a sense of being in the scorching sun of this beautiful little town. It's difficult to resist the desire to create a masterpiece as one travels through life. It invokes emotions or the intuition shown in the use of creative brushstrokes. The full of life personality type can be seen in the vibrancy of different colors used in the painting. Hard Ride was done from 2004 and completed in 2005. It's 100 centimeters by 80 centimeters oil on canvas. Hard Ride is one of the masterpieces I did for the Hidden Treasures in 2005 exhibition in Uganda. The work resonates with what most of us experience as we are growing up. And this is what I wrote about in my catalog. And the same story was written by the African Woman magazine of 2005. I was talking about being on your own, making choices, finding your career path, getting an education, and finding your talent and dreams. As a youth, your ambition revolves about leaving your family behind and trying to seek out the right direction for yourself. The background is very misty because life is exceedingly unclear. The books at the back symbolizes education, and the helmet on the head is protection. The girl has tied her rope tightly around her waist for support. The bicycle represents something modern and provides mobility. Part of the challenge is that the road is not clear. It is a hard ride, but you have to strive and find your way out. Horizon Line was created from 1998 and was completed in 2017. It's measuring 119 centimeters by 80 centimeters. It's oil on canvas. Just like the saying goes, our brightest dreams and our greatest fears are just over the horizon. The horizon line depicts the good and the bad days that I have embraced on a daily basis. Horizon line depicts a thicket of hues, each stretching at different levels and heights, reflecting the differences I have encountered through interaction with several people from where I reside in Kabale the Great. In life, we are all different. When we realize this, we then become more embracing of all the differences in the character of people with whom we engage with. It's only when we come together as a community, family, or neighborhood that the wholeness occurs. I've depicted these feelings of togetherness in this piece of art to reflect the power and beauty that are the core of every human being. Together we become more than a whole, and the hues of life will bring us into places that we could not have imagined before. My art thrives on guiding the listener to look deeper at the world in which we live and towards each other, and acknowledge our commonality with our diversity. Impressions 1 was done 2012, measuring 119 to 80 centimeters oil on canvas. I associate the concept of impressions with intuition. In life, I make every effort to avoid situations that cause me to become angry and instead choose happiness. In this regard, I prefer to concentrate on positive aspects of situations rather than the negative ones. The vivid warmth that the color orange emits speaks of positivity, and joy is reflected in the impressions painting. This is something I can be proud of in terms of my emotions. This painting motivates me to keep going in the right direction. The art seemed to create a personal healing sessions with calming blues and soothing greens, inspiring the upper middle ground color, which was created to promote healing, peace, and productivity. Summer and the changing of seasons inspired in the middle tone of blue hues, which spoke of growth and progress. Moonlight 1998 to 2012, 119 centimeters to 80 centimeters oil on canvas. Under the Moonlight has a large group of self-made, passionate women who are symbolic of life. These are wonderful women who have taken the time to form a sisterhood. As it grows, so it will our love for one another and our ability to accomplish things. Moonlight is symbolic of the softness and the power that women possess that transform itself into strength when women are faced with life's challenges in order to reach women workers of all kinds. It's symbolic of toughness, wit, and compassion. Among several women depicted in dark shades, a woman wearing prominent red is intentionally evinced in this work. As the gist goes, the color red resonates with women's assertiveness and vigorous energy, resulting in symbols of strength, sharpness, and compassion. This piece of artwork represents harmony and universality to me. The combination of these elements represents a common vision for our community, a philosophy that we can all relate to. The Protea South African flower 1, measuring 119 centimeters to 80 centimeters, done on oil on canvas. I started working on this work from 2003 up to 2012. I did my schooling in South Africa, and one of the things that fascinated me was the Protea flower. Protea 1 and 2 artworks were inspired by South African national flower, the Protea. Proteas are capable of surviving wildfires. As a result, Proteas are tough and can withstand even the harshest weather conditions. The resilience of this beautiful flower is depicted specifically in the Protea South African flower 1, in which I used a pink color of the flowers within the painting's background. The Protea 1 embodies the beauty and the tenacity of the Protea flower. Protea South African flower 2 represents the beauty of the country and marks a transitional moment within the painting. Regenesis was created as I was beginning to develop my own concept of what it means to be transitory. This painting incorporates additional colors within its background to create a multi-dimensional illusion. Sailing through a series of paintings that I painted from 2015-2016. They are measuring 119 to 83 centimeters and they are done oil on canvas. Sailing through reminds me of life's journey, which is a ripple of ups and downs as we travel through it. We are all passers-by in this life, guests in this world until we meet in the spirit world. Life is so beautiful. Even with all of these difficulties we face, we all have different dreams and paths to follow. We don't always see the negative aspects of our lives until we put them into context. All is not lost. Simply refuse to give up on life, even when confronted with difficult realities. When you find yourself in an array of color palette embedded within this one kind of a masterpiece, it's a breath of fresh air. Sailing Through 3 is a series of paintings that are inspired by yachts and sailboats. The world is surrounded by magnificent bodies of water where yachts and sailboats are common. The sailboats and yachts can mean so many different things to different people, but to me, they signify resilience and strength. These amazing bodies endure the most severe, harsh weather on the high seas. They persistently sail through to accomplish an assigned journey that can bring joy, pleasure, and success. Togetherness Cape 2015 to 2016, 119 centimeters to 117 centimeters oil on canvas. I have always loved the idea of being able to feel like a child and just run without any worries, without any thoughts, and just really be in the moment. Togetherness Cape recreates the childhood memories of being free in unfated space or running. It is a place where you can escape the stresses of everyday life and reconnect with your mind, body, and soul. When we step into Togetherness Cape, it is as if we are pushing away the stress of everyday lives. It is as if we are taking a break and allowing ourselves to enjoy the moment. Silver Lining 1 and 2 are a series of paintings I did from 1999 to 2012. They are both measuring 119 centimeters to 93 centimeters, and they were all done oil on canvas. The silver lining in the background, in form of a white glaze, as reflected by the Nile waters, represents an aesthetic of adventure, a journey I would know nothing about, except that the fact that its inhabitants had always been generous in their praise of it. This painting is a reminder of those who have encouraged me on my journey of life, from the perspective of potential failures and futures. In unison with Silver Lining 1, Silver Lining 2 affirms that we have all been there, but I hope that we never give up on our love for the divinely inspired journey. The greatest adventure is the one we take in life. It's a journey that makes us who we are, and the broader strokes of emotion paint the picture of what it means to be a beyond impressive human being. But for now, let's keep this adventure here on earth in our hearts and minds, an adventure that is worth of appreciation by society. Speaking Mountains 1 and 2 were done in 2015 to 2016. They are both measuring 119 centimeters to 87 centimeters. Speaking Mountains are a series of paintings depicting mountains done during my Fulbright year in the US. They were inspired by different mountains in the West, Midwest, and Southeast of America. For example, the Rocky Mountains, Great Smoky Mountains, the Blue Ridge Mountains, among others, speak of America's beauty and splendor of endurance. They inspired me because of the way they endured harsh weather, but they have remained tall and inspiring. The mountains speak volumes of words, endurance, courage, beauty to different human audiences. Sunrise is a series of paintings done in 2012. Sunrise brings new energy and new hope in the midst of darkness. It's not a bright new day until the sun has risen above the horizon and all of nature is fixed in its patterned order. Thoroughly tied up in knots, the day is more or less perfect now. Although the light is still thin, not having gilded every corner yet, the light washes over the world without affecting its pattern, so that the heart, which has taken refuge inside the curled up in a convenient little ball, feels no shock. It simply comes to life as a result of being passively viewed. There is something about the morning that gives the impression it can foretell or hinder what the night may bring. Sunrise 1 and 2 are two paintings that speak more about people's personality and the way of life, particularly in relation to what we do or say. Speaking with a purpose in mind, using inspirational words, and passing on knowledge and wisdom is key, and that is what these paintings represent. Sunrise 3 relates to Sunrise 1 and 2 by emphasizing the importance of making new beginnings and accepting each day as it comes without judgment. The grass with the sun at dawn is reflected in green, which is captured by the strokes, representing potential through time, space, and place. As our bodies and everything around us continue to grow, a suspended sun represents the universe's limitless potential. Sunsets are a series of paintings I've been working on since 1990s up to 2012. They are measuring 119 centimeters to 80 centimeters and done in oil on canvas. As the sun rises, it must set. This is a change from its natural form. This sunset painting is reflective of change in all its forms and contexts. The painting reminds me of the changes that I needed to adapt to during my travel days in pursuit of my academic career. As Uganda is blessed with some of the best weather in the world, I had to grapple with 4 seasons while in the US and South Africa. I had to accept change in order to progress. I had to prioritize and pair my personal changes with those that needed to be addressed in the university systems. Through this artwork, I wanted to create an exciting, lively, and complex environment for the viewer to imagine themselves being part of it. By connecting people, I wanted to create a connection that not only complements the picture but is touched by the subjects. Graduate was one of the themes I began working on within the 1990s. This is one of the graduation ceremonies I attended between 2001 and 2005. Every student, regardless of their level of education, looks forward to donning a red gown. A gown represents a complete milestone in the educational cycle, which I wanted to visually capture. This represents the never-ending success process as well as the beginning of the future. Every student is overjoyed and proud of their accomplishment in resonance to the vivid red gown, which reflects the graduates' courageousness and assertive personality as they approach the finishing line. This is symbolic of the full spectrum of profession, including the challenge and the fragility of life. Uganda the Pearl is a painting that I created from the 1990s, and it's a theme that I always run back to date. It's measuring 119 centimeters to 97 centimeters and it's done on oil on canvas. Uganda the Pearl features an exquisite foreground of delicately painted edges and strokes set against a saturated color backdrop. We see the work making its presence known through a more abstract vision, but connects with the main landscape's beauty. Uganda the Pearl's fully attentive brush of floral species is represented by the gentle pull from the harmony of this region, characterized by the subtle transition from roughness as depicted by the foreground paint strokes to smoothness in close-up observed in the background. This painting depicts Africa's lush beauty with a vibrant and distinct tint of colorful elements that creates an sumptuous sense of patience. This ranges from simple diagonal strokes to various patterns, shapes, and color schemes that reveal its true personality. This work emphasizes the importance of aesthetic and the beauty of African life. Its one-of-a-kindness stands out as a visual treat that provides an unprecedented insight into Uganda and Africa in general. What appears to be abstract over the painting is an explosion of color.